Hello, everybody. I am Ro2501, and this is kind of like a one-off video, I guess. If maybe people like it, I'll make some more. But I came across this game on the Xbox Live Game Pass, which is like the Xbox game rental type thing that they have. But I came across the game, and so I looked it up, and it's basically like a craft and battle type of thing. But I guess one of the things that makes it really interesting, or what made it super interesting to me, was like it's totally community generated. Like most of the stuff, like and I'll show you here in just a minute. But like the community of people who built robots, put them up for other people to download, and all sorts of things. But one of the craziest things that you could do in this game, these are the 5 choices that you have from the very beginning. This is the competitive mode, I guess. This is just the straight up, just fight the robot that you make mode. And this teaches you everything. You can test anything that you built, and then of course, you know, edit. Under this, it's got like a shortcut for to help you build your own robots if you're not creative at that thing like me, or you can do it from scratch, or like I said earlier, you can download robots that other people make. But the whole point of the game is just either download, build from scratch, or, you know, with help building, you make your own robots, and then you battle them in the 5 versus 5, or in that competitive mode, which is basically just hold as many points until the time ends, or until you complete the objective for the map. It's basically like Conquest in Battlefield, or other games like that. But the thing that got me originally when I looked it up was the fact that it's the whole thing was basically user generated or community generated, kind of like Minecraft and stuff like that. The game gives you just the tiniest little bit of, you know, here's how to do things, and then kind of just sets you loose. When I started, I basically just went through all the robots and looked at the various little stats that, you know, came with each robot and whatnot. And because I'm a giant fighting robot kind of nerd, I ended up kind of settling with this one here. And I played around with it like in the editing mode to try and figure out the basics, you know, once the game had taught them to me, and, you know, make modifications to this particular robot. And I found out a couple of things, obviously, but what I ended up doing was I settled on this type, and then I modified it for like the me version, which is basically just stick a whole bunch of guns on it. So this is what I ended up with after I was tuning around with the building, the modifications, and all that stuff. This is kind of my end result with what I ended up playing around with. It's a robot with 10 lasers on it. 10's a good round number, and honestly, it wouldn't let me put any more, so 10 was the number. There's all kinds of actual guns and stuff you can put. There's straight up lasers, there's chain gun lasers, grenade launchers, missile launchers, rail guns, all kinds of stuff. I've even seen some crazy like giant EMP thing that people have been using in the team deathmatch type thing. But the one thing that I should be clear on is like you don't have to use any of these robots. These are the ones that, like the 5 starter robots, are this mech, this ostrich knight, which because I'm old, it's basically from Joust. A race car one, this cool T-Rex one. But I can't figure out why these guns on the front are pointing down on his downward hands. I don't know how they're supposed to shoot forward. As soon as it loads it, there we go. If you look, his guns are on his hands, which point downward. So I'm not sure how that's supposed to work. And then this is basically just a platform with legs and lasers. I've seen a lot of people use this particular robot basic build type and put bigger, crazier lasers on it. But it looks too, I guess, generic for me, too kind of blah. So I ended up with, you know, tinkering around with this one. So again, just to be clear, you don't have to use these. You can do from scratch, and you can build anything. I've seen all kinds of crazy ones, and I've only been playing the game for a couple of days. I've seen crazy flying ones. I've seen ones that have like 3 legs, and the rest of the platform was just flat with nothing but guns on it. It's quite crazy, all the things that people have come up with that aren't on the downloadable ones, the ones that you can tell that were them from scratch or whatever, that use the basic platform. But once I had kind of tinkered around with my robot a bit, I went to see what other, under the create menu, the bodybuilder one, it's got basic types. This car, a tank, the mech, which giant fighting robot I ended up settling on, a hover car, and then that's it. And then it's got different fronts and backs under each of those models. But those are the basic models that it gives you. Like I said, it's not very big on handholdy. It's very here's the basics, and then you go nuts type of thing. But if you're like me and you're not super good at you know, building stuff on your own, or basically these are the ones that the community have put up, and this is just a small taste of the ones that are available for download. This one's like a 4-tread platform with a bunch of big lasers on it, a big mech. They have spider crawly ones like this one. I mean, just the varying types of robots that I've seen so far, they're quite crazy. These are just like popular ones, I guess, with high combat ratings, as it shows on the bottom. Basically, they're good to fight. They're good for fighting. I'm not sure if you can make your own edits or anything to these. Usually when games have these pre-builds from people in the community, it doesn't let you really tinker with them. I haven't really messed with these yet, and like I said earlier, maybe I'll make another video where I do kind of test a bunch of these out and see how they work. I just wanted to make this quick video to show you the basic points and why I thought it was super interesting. Like I said, originally I got the game on Game Pass, but you know, it is just the standard game you can buy for, you know, the $40, $50, whatever. A lot like other games, like so you're not so dissuaded or anything. There are, you know, things, crates you can buy and things like that, but I've looked, and these things are purely cosmetic. They don't give you any guns, they don't give you any lasers, nothing. It's all cosmetic stuff. So nothing in here that you can buy with real money will help you blow people up any quicker or be any better at blowing people up. I haven't bought any of these yet. I probably won't really intend to, but it's available. If you like to make your stuff look extra pretty, they have these available, and for what you get for the price, it actually doesn't seem like it's too bad a deal. But yeah, like I said, after I got to tinkering around with the basic robots that it gives you, I ended up settling on this guy. It's another robot with 10 lasers, basically. The reason I ended up picking this frame in particular is because, like I said earlier, I'm a giant fighting robot kind of nerd, and I grew up with like Robotech and Mech Warrior and Battletech and things like that. And those are old tabletop games which you know, use giant fighting robots to blow up other giant fighting robots in a galactic type war thing. But this frame, minus the lasers and the legs, is exactly like one of the robots in Mech Warrior or Battletech. Depends on if you what version of the game you like to play or call it. But yeah, so this is my 10 laser robot that I ended up kind of running around with. That, you know, the only thing I really did was color it, but the top frame was part of the basic build frame that you saw earlier. I just added the lasers in, you know, points I thought they would be appropriate. So it's basically just a giant wave of lasers, really. I won't get too super in depth into the buildy part of it. Leave that for you guys to explore if you do end up downloading or playing the game. But under the edit mode, I just show you the basics types of stuff you can do. And so, like I said, it just came with the frame. I added all the lasers, and you just by simply going into the inventory. It breaks everything down in a really simple, like very user-friendly, like medium. Cubes, which are basically the body of whatever you're building. Movement, which is wheels, tank treads, the legs that I'm using, wings, propellers, tank treads, all that stuff. Weapons, all the lasers, different kinds of lasers, grenade lasers, chain guns, rail guns, all kinds of cool stuff. These special bits, I haven't explored or used any of these yet, but they're like armor pieces, cosmetic pieces, other things like that, weapons modules. There's all kinds of stuff in here that I saw. And then the cosmetic stuff, which is, this is the stuff you get out of those crates. And like I said, none of this stuff is going to help you blow anybody up any quicker than the rest. So, but all I did with this particular frame was I added a bunch of these basic laser blasters onto it. So I switched to it, and then you can see on the little mech itself, it's got the green where you can put it, and then red where you can't. Let's find a red spot. See, you can't put it back there because if you look at the circle, it tells you, there's stuff in the way. But you can turn it to face whatever direction you want, and then with the simple press, boom, laser. And that goes with any piece, block, gun, wing, whatever you want to call it. The whole thing works like that. You just pick whatever it is you want to put on whatever robot or design you build, choose whatever direction you need it to face, and then boom. If you want to get rid of it, you just press a button, off it goes. If you make a mistake, there's an undo or a back, like in any good kind of editing software one way or another. So you can always undo something if you accidentally, like, I took a block away, I don't know where I took it away from, let me just undo it, and it'll go, the block or laser or whatever will go right back to where it was. I haven't built anything from scratch. I haven't been playing with this nearly long enough to do that, but everything is super comprehensive and very user-friendly, easy to use. Like I said, not a super creative person. I'm not really good at these buildy types, unless it's like, in a game where there's zombies and you need to build fortification, and then I can build to my heart's content. This kind of stuff, usually not very good. But even someone like myself, who isn't typically good at this kind of thing, found it very, very user-friendly and very, very easy to pick up. Like I said, maybe I'll do another one of these where I do the from scratch stuff, but the editors for building these things, it's easy and simple to use. That's one of the main things that kind of wrapped me up in this whole thing when I first started checking it out. The easiness, the ease of use, and the ease of explanation, that it gives you. It's not overly complicated. It's really cool, honestly. Like, if you like these kinds of games, especially the buildy, like Minecraft types, you'll probably like this. And if you have Game Pass, you should at least, give it a download and check it out. I think it's pretty awesome. But so once you get done building a robot, it's all you do is basically you can test it out, or you can just exit back to the main menu and then hit the button for play. And then you can choose one of the modes to play. I've done this mode a few times, the Battle Arena one. I don't necessarily recommend doing that unless you have a couple of friends that you talk into the game and want to play with, because communication is quite the key in this particular mode. This deathmatch mode, however, super just, even with a group of other random players, you can get on in this mode fairly well. From the bit that I've been playing, the couple of days, the one thing that I figured out when it comes to either, any kind of fighting robot fighting, at least in this game, between the two modes. Two of the key things that I figured out is, one, try not to get caught by yourself in the map, and two, if you want to survive a laser fight or whatever kind of robot gunfight that there is, the best thing to do is try to destroy whatever weapons are on the other mech. Try to destroy the weapons first and then the movement, because it's not going to matter a whole bunch if the robot moves around but with no guns. This screen I thought was really, really awesome when it came to the setup of it. It shows you what weapons are on each of the mechs for your team and the opponents, so you can kind of get a head start on what weapons you need to look out for, or what is going to be shot at you, basically. So far that I can see, map-wise, there's a decent amount of maps. They're not super small, they're not super big, they're quite well proportioned for the game types that it has. So far that I could tell, there was 4 or 5 different maps. I'm sure they'll release more as the game goes on, but as it stands now, it's a very well designed game. It's quite awesome. And this is the fighting portion. First team to get 25 kills wins. 10-minute matches. I've never had a match that goes 10 minutes. So if you look in the bottom right hand corner, oh look, there's a flyer. Somebody just shot a laser. Boom, he's already dead. So if you look at that little reticle where I'm shooting or trying to aim, I'm not doing the best job of. That guy's got homing rockets, that's awesome. On the left and right side of that little reticle, you can see those blue bars. Those tell you how long you can fire your weapon for. Certain ones barely take up any juice, like mine. Some, you get 2-3 shots max, and then you gotta wait for it to recharge. So you gotta be careful with the guns that you end up sticking on to your robots. My robot does jump because of its legs. It's bound. The team has a lot of flyers. Oh, he's gone. Oh, they have 3 flyers. I've never seen a team with that many flying robots on them. Usually it's 1 or 2. Oh, he's... See him shooting his lasers. Oh, they're hitting me with big lasers. Oh, no, no, no! Oh, come on! Somebody else is gonna get the kill. But look at that thing. Some dude actually made that and was able to make it fly and have really big guns on it to blow people to tiny bits. But yeah, in the battle mode, when you take damage, eventually someone without dying, you can basically, it's just oh, he blew me to hell for wow, blew the bottom of my feet off. Actually, no. There we go. Look at that thing. It's just a floating platform with a gun on it. Sometimes simplicity is just the best way to go. Oof. But yeah, this battle mode, really awesome. Oh, he's blowing the crap out of me. Oh, that's that one crazy flying. So, about the whole laser targeting thing, You can blow the individual bits off of any robot that anybody builds. Like I'm targeting this guy's lasers. Somebody already blew his tracks off. Probably gonna blow me up again. Oh, I blew all his lasers off. But he blew a bunch of mine off. It's super detailed. That's the other thing that drew me towards the game. Like being able to blow those little bits off took me a couple of hours to figure out that you could do that instead of just aiming like at the map. But yeah, it's quite a good game. I was far more impressed with it than I thought I would be, and or oh, didn't even see him. All right. So as you can see, I've taken a bunch of damage and I'm trying to run away to regenerate health. Blew off the track, blew off the track. Now he's just kind of rolling around on the track, which is allowing me to run away. So if I just wait a little bit without shooting, I'll eventually gain back my health. Bit of design flaw on that guy's little robot, but still. Oh no! Somebody's... No! Killed me before I could kill him. This one is crazy. I love this one. Yeah, you come across all kinds of crazy designs. Like, look at this twin rotor thing. I saw one earlier that was just basically 2 propellers, a bunch of thin pipes, and really big lasers. Like, that's all it was. And it worked super well. It was killing the crap out of everybody. Oh, there's that dude again. See that one dude just shooting a big old railgun. There's this dude again. Blow up the tracks, blow up the tracks, blow up the laser. If I can actually kill him this time. Man, that guy, a ton of health. See, I've got 18 health. After just a bit, I'm going to recharge. There we go, recharge. There's even a little counter down by the recharge. Oh, he's got lasers, he's got rockets. Oh, crap. Boom. We've only got one more kill, hence the giant alarm. They're down a team member, it looks like. And I'm recharging, see? Blew a leg off, so I'm just kind of hobbling. Now I've got both my legs. Pretty awesome. You won. Wow, some dude had 9 kills. That's crazy. So this is the last bit of the game to really cover. You know, with the cosmetic items that you can buy. You know, those were just those flags and football legs and all those crazy things. The way you get parts or unlock parts or earn cash is by doing those 5 versus 5 or doing the competitive. Every time you earn a level, you end up getting a crate, and that crate, when you open it, that's what gives you the new blocks, the new weapons, the new movement, the new everything. If you've already got one of the things that it gives you inside the crate, it automatically turns that piece into currency, which if you look at the top right hand corner where it says 5, my level, a little green pile of dust, I guess, and 3,000, I got 3,180 bucks. And that's all from pieces that I'd already owned that I got in a crate, and then in the crate it just turned it into currency for me automatically. That's what you would use to buy parts that you don't already own. So in the edit mode, when you go into inventory, see these, how it says all unlocked, 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 and then the locked bits with all the little monies. If I wanted to buy this glowing edge piece, I could. It's always got how much it costs right next to it. These CG ones are from the cosmetic crates. And just like any game since, oh, I don't know, World of Warcraft came out, it's got the standard system of how good something is based on its color. So white is regular, green is the next step up, blue is the next step up, purple is close to awesome, and then orange, if you can find something, which I actually have. See, orange, railgun. Orange means super awesome. I've used this thing a couple of times, and it takes a crap ton of energy to use. But it does a crap ton of damage if you can aim it properly, which I'm still working on. But yeah, the little currency, the dust you get in the corner, you use that to unlock the bits that you don't already have or that you haven't gotten in a crate. So it's, like I said, super simplified system of everything. Cash, currency, whatever you want to call it, buying stuff, getting stuff from crates when you level, everything. It's one of the more like comprehensive, easy to pick up games that I've ever played, especially on Xbox One. So if you do have Game Pass, give it a try. You might be one of the starter robots to run around and blow people up for a little bit. If you don't have Game Pass and you just end up buying it, personally, I think it's worth the money to buy. But that's up to you guys. I just thought I'd make this quick little one just to give you guys a quick little showdown of what this game is really all about. Took me by surprise for sure, which is another reason I decided to make the video. Hopefully you guys give it a check out. If you have questions or comments or anything, you know, just leave them and I'll answer as best I can. Hopefully you play it and you know, look out for those flyers and their lasers, because man, those things are deadly. Thanks for watching.